Good evening and welcome to Terrace Talk League Two predictions. We had a pretty decent week last week. We got a fair few results correct. Besley's a few points ahead of me, so Besley's off to a flyer. And we're going to start with this week. So Bez, looking forward to this one?
Yeah, I am. Obviously, we've got a week under our belts now, and the more we do this, the more we learn about each of us teams and how we're playing and what have you. So I would expect the amount of points that we've got now, it should increase over time, obviously with more knowledge that'll come with it. So yeah, looking forward to it. Are you looking forward to it as well?
Yeah. Some strange results last week, I thought. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it, mate.
Let's go. Okay.
So crack away.
Me first then. So the first one, 12:30 kickoff, is Bristol Rovers v Newport County. Not a great start for Bristol Rovers. They obviously lost away at York City. However, I still expect them to be near the top. I still think Newport will go down. So I'm going for a comfortable 2-0 victory for Bristol Rovers. 2-0 I'm going for.
2-0. Yeah, this is a difficult one for me because Newport, I thought would struggle, but they absolutely battered Rochdale, who I think Rochdale will have a decent season. So for me, I think this is going to be a difficult game. Bristol lost at home to York, newly promoted. I'm going to go 2-2.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, 2-2.
Wow. That does surprise you, that. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm just going to check. Did you say there, Newport? They beat Rochdale 3-0, didn't they? Fair enough.
Yeah,
Fair
Rochdale were highly fancied as well. So I think that's a cracking start. Obviously, Bristol lost to York 3-2. So defensively, they didn't look great. And from the reports, Newport really turned Rochdale over pretty comfortably. So I don't think we're going to be bang on with Newport going down, to be honest. I know it's only one game. Things can change. So obviously we lost to Cheltenham, and I think they were absolutely honking, and I think they will struggle. So it's a difficult one to predict at the minute. First few weeks.
Yeah, of course. Right. So next then is a decent sized game actually. Salford versus Chesterfield. Both sides lost their opening game, and I have to say, Chesterfield, they lost a game that I thought they might have won in Fleetwood, and now they've got some difficult fixtures: Salford away, Rotherham away coming up. So I think they could be towards the bottom after the first few games. I'm going to go draw though with this one. I'm going to go one apiece because again, I think both sides won't want to lose again in the league after the starts. I think that Salford will be expected to win the game, and I think Chesterfield tend to raise the game when they're playing against the better sides, and that's why they end up losing at home to Fleetwood. I think if that had been a Salford at home, for example, they might have put in a result. They do tend to do better in against the better side. So I'm going for a Salford 1, Chesterfield 1.
Yeah, I think this will be a tight game. Salford got spanked at the weekend, 3-1 at Barnet. But Barnet are highly fancied as well. I just think Salford will have too much for Chesterfield. I'm going to go 2-1 to Salford, home victory. But yeah, I think it will be tight. I'm not a million miles away from thinking that it could be a draw, but I think obviously the big pressure on Salford to perform, I think they'll just get over the line in the home game for me.
Okay. Next we have Walsall versus Grimsby Town. Fair play, both sides won their opening game. Walsall had an incredible win away at Gillingham, 3-0. Grimsby v Exeter 1-0, so good start for both sides. I'm just going to go for a Walsall win. I've got Walsall down as a team who I think will do well this season. I've got Grimsby down as well as doing well, but I just think Walsall are slightly the better side, and they'll just slightly nick this game 2-1.
Yeah, I disagree. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw on this one. I think Grimsby had the better. I think they were playing the better team at the weekend. So yeah, I'm gonna go draw. I don't see Walsall being up there. I think Grimsby as well. I think both have been kind of overhyped this season. So I'm gonna go 1-1 draw.
Okay, interesting. Next, we have Colchester v Oldham. Colchester drew away to Accrington 2-2, which was an okay point. Oldham had a cracking 2-0 win against Port Vale, so fair play to them. Difficult one, this. I actually think Oldham are probably the slight favourites in this game. But going away to Colchester, with the Cowley brothers, won't be easy. So I'm actually going to go Colchester 0, Oldham 0. Bit of a board draw I'm going to go for.
Yeah, I'm going to go Colchester 1, Oldham 2. I think Oldham beat, for me, one of the teams that I really fancy to do well in Port Vale. Colchester, yeah, they won, didn't they? But Accrington, Stanley.
They drew, Colchester drew.
Sorry, the drew, yeah, they didn't even win. So the drew with Accrington Stanley, who I don't think are a very good team. So yeah, I think Oldham will definitely come out on top of that 2-1 Oldham.
Okay, next we have Crewe and Northampton. Crewe, a good win at Crawley, 1-0, although Crawley were down to 9 men. And Northampton got a 0-0 draw at home to Swindon. So not very high-scoring games there. Only 1 goal between the 4 sides. Again, it's a difficult one to predict, as they all are at this point of the season. I'm just going to go with the home team. I'm just going to go Crewe 1, Northampton 0. Obviously, there's hardly any goals between these sides, so I'm just going to give Crewe the win because they have the home advantage.
Yeah, I'm going to go for the home advantage as well. I think Northampton are very poor. I'm going to go 2-0 to Crewe. I think it'll be a pretty comfortable afternoon for Crewe Alexandra. 2-0.
Okay, next we have Exeter City versus Accrington Stanley. So I've already said Accrington Stanley obviously got that 2-2 draw at home to Colchester. Exeter lost away at Grimsby. So it wasn't a terrible performance by Exeter. Obviously, Grimsby were one of the teams who were favoured to get in the playoffs at least. So started to get hammered there, to be fair to him. Again, another tricky game like they all are. But again, I just don't fancy Accrington at all. I think they're going to struggle. Obviously, it's a long way down to Exeter. So I'm going to have to go for an Exeter win. I'm going to go Exeter 2, Accrington Stanley 1.
Yeah, I think it's a difficult game. I think Exeter as well have not been able to spend. I'm going to go for Exeter City 1, Accrington Stanley 0. I don't think there'll be many goals in the game at all. I think Exeter will edge that game 1-0.
Okay. Next, we have Fleetwood Town versus Gillingham. So Fleetwood got a cracking result at Chesterfield 1-0. And Gillingham, they obviously got hammered at home to Walsall 3-0, which was a bit of a surprise. Obviously, I did say with Gareth Ainsworth normally, he's quite good with these sort of sides, who are rough and tumble and they like to play direct football. And I am surprised that they conceded 3 at home to Walsall, to be honest. He's normally really good defensively. Now, because they lost 3-0, I think he'll go to Fleetwood and they'll literally shut up shop. I think they'll shut up shop. I think the fact they conceded 3, I don't think he'll like that. So they will shut up shop. And Fleetwood could only manage a 1-0 win against Chesterfield. So I'm actually going to go another 0-0 draw. I just think they'll go there, Gillingham. Like I said, and maybe not necessarily go for the draw, but they'll aim to not concede many. And by doing so, they'll not create a lot of chances, and that's why it'll finish 0-0.
I'm going to go different. I think Fleetwood's win at Chesterfield was a cracking win. And I think Gillingham, very poor. I'm going to go Fleetwood 2, Gillingham 0. Comfortable afternoon for Fleetwood Town.
Okay. Next is Port Vale and Tranmere. So obviously Port Vale, not a great start, lost away to Oldham, and Tranmere had a great result at home to Shrewsbury, albeit that wasn't a great opposition team to play, because we don't expect Shrewsbury to be towards the bottom. I just think even though Port Vale lost and Tranmere won, I think Port Vale bounce back here and they'll get the win. Again, I'm not going for a lot of goals. I'm just going for a Port Vale 1, Tranmere 0. Yes, I do fancy Port Vale to win that one.
Yeah, I think this will be an open game. I think both teams will go for it. I'm going to go Port Vale 3, Tranmere 2.
Wow. Any reason for the open game? Just any reason for that? Just
I think both teams have got attacking players. Like I said, I think for me, Port Vale, they've had a bad start, but I think they will be up there. I know they didn't score, but they're at home. I think Port Vale, as we've seen last season, were a lot better at home. Tranmere got a win under the belt, and I think they'll have confidence. So I don't think they'll fear Port Vale, and I think they'll both go at each other, and it'll be an open, expansive game. 3-2.
Okay, interesting. Next, we have Rochdale against Crawley Town. Obviously, Rochdale got a hammering at Newport. Crawley Town, they lost at home to Crewe, and they also had 2 players sent off. Now, Rochdale, do you know what? It's only one game in that I can see them being in a bit of trouble here. We did say on the fixture video that Rochdale were a little bit of an unknown because they had a great manager last season who took them up, and he's obviously left and he's gone to Stockport, and obviously, incredibly, Stockport won their first game 3-0, which is quite amazing. It kind of reflects the result that Rochdale had. I honestly do think, as I said, that Rochdale are in trouble, and because of that, I think this is the sort of game where Rochdale really need a win, but I don't think they'll get it. And obviously Crawley, they're not going to go every single game losing every game. So I'm going to go 1-1 draw. Rochdale 1, Crawley 1.
Yeah, I mean, I know a few Rochdale fans, and they really do fancy themselves this season. So I was shocked to see that they got a good pasting against a newly promoted team. But I think with the home crowd behind them, I'm going to go Rochdale 2, Crawley 0. Rochdale home victory. Okay.
Next, I mean, do we have to do this one, really? Rotherham home to York. I mean, do you know what? Ever since we started this video, I've been like, every time it goes to yourself and you do your bit, I'm thinking in my head, what should I do for Rotherham? What should I do for Rotherham? Look, Rotherham did actually play well. I know we had a lot of Cheltenham fans who've come on and say they thought Rotherham were poor and Cheltenham were good, etc. Honestly, Rotherham did play well. Apart from the odd chance that Cheltenham had, I don't think they had a chance. Obviously, poor defensive work for their first goal, for their first goal that we conceded. Although it looked like handball in the build-up, I'd like to see it again. It doesn't look like handball. Whether it is or not, I don't know. But obviously, their left winger, or the midfield, if you like, is free on the left-hand side. And to be fair, it's a great finish. I think a lot of it, I know a lot of people are playing Denzel Hall, and rightly so, because you can clearly see the photo where Denzel Hall's about 15, 20 yards up the pitch, and he should have really saw the danger and obviously stuffed out the danger and got back, and he didn't do that. But I think one of the issues is that Rotherham did, done all pre-season using a 4-back, and they've gone into the first game and they're almost defending as a 3-back. And I think that was the issue, because if you look, Al Joffrey, he should have been the right-hand side. And although he was the last player who ended up losing the ball, and he fell to the midfield who passed it into the McCann, who had a lot of space, he wasn't on the left-hand side, he was more central, and it just looked like the whole defence weren't acting as a unit. And look, that'll come. Rotherham has signed 50, 10, 11, 12 players, so that will come. And to be fair to Cheltenham, their second goal was just an incredibly good goal. I do agree with yourself, Lee, that if the keeper takes a step, because you could see that man what we're trying to do. And the thing is, we were sat right behind it where we were, and you could see straight away as soon as it's a goal, because he just kills that bottom corner. It is a good strike by the lad, but I do agree with you, we can. So Rotherham did play well. However, York City played well. It's a great result for them against Bristol Rovers. I don't want to sit here and just have Rotherham winning every single week when they're not going to win every week. So I'm actually going to go a draw. I'm going more a draw because I don't want to. Every time I seem to have Rotherham winning, they don't win. So I'd rather me put a draw down and Rotherham pick up the result and I lose the points. So I'm going to go 2-2. I think it'll be an entertaining 2-2 game.
Yeah, so for me, like I said, I think Rotherham played well. We've got a friendly with Sheffield United tomorrow. I think the team's going to gel. I think we're going to get Mullin up to speed. I think hopefully Bradshaw will be in the team. Maybe a couple of new signings. I think it'll be a nice scoring game, but I think Rotherham are absolutely going to mully them. I'm going to go 4-2 to Rotherham. I don't respect York City at all. Yeah, they got promoted, but I think they've been massively overhyped. Yeah, they beat Bristol Rovers, but we're not Bristol Rovers. We're Rotherham United. We're the Manchester United of League Two. So for me, I only see anything but York getting absolutely spanked 4-2.
Okay, interesting. Next, Shrewsbury versus Barnet. Obviously, Shrewsbury lost away at Tranmere. And one of the fancy teams, Barnet, had a great result at Salford. They won 3-1. I think Shrewsbury are in trouble. As I said, I think that we've both got them, I think, in the bottom half. They are a team who could end up, in the bottom two if they're not careful. And this is going to be my first game, I think it is, where I have an away team winning. I'm going to go Shrewsbury Town 1, Barnet 2. I think Barnet will continue their good start and they'll win 2-1.
Yeah, totally agree with you, Bez. I'm not going for the same score, but I'm going to go Shrewsbury Town 0, Barnet 2. I think they'll just have too much for him. I was very impressed with Barnet. I thought when I first people's predicting Barnet to do well, I was like, where's this coming from? But I actually watched some clips of the game against Salford and they looked impressive, to be fair. So, yeah, I can't see. I think, I agree with you. We both agreed Shrewsbury will be in the bottom sort of half, if not, could even go down. So, yeah, for me, definitely Shrewsbury 0, Barnet 2.
Okay. And last but not least, it is Swindon Town versus Cheltenham Town. A little bit of a derby. I think they're relatively close to each other, these two. Obviously, we've already spoken about Cheltenham. They beat Rotherham last week 2-1. Swindon got a 0-0 draw away at Northampton. And to be honest with you, it's an easy one for me, this, because, like we've all said, Cheltenham struggled. They did beat Rotherham, and you got to say fair play, but they really struggled to win that game, and they should have lost, really. I think if the game had been played 2 or 3 months down the line when Rotherham had more time to gel, I think Rotherham would have probably won that game comfortably. So I'm going to go for a Swindon win. I'm going to go Swindon 2, Cheltenham Town 0.
Yeah, for me, I mean, honestly, if that was a boxing match, they would have thrown the towel in, Cheltenham. Probably one of the worst sides I've seen Rotherham play for 10 years. I mean, I know it's a massive drop in standard to what we used to playing in League Two, but it really showed, honestly. Some of the football I saw from Cheltenham was like park football. It was awful. I think Swindon will absolutely pace them. I'm going to go 3-0 to Swindon Town. I do not rate Cheltenham. I think Cheltenham will struggle in the bottom regions, could even get relegated, in my view. Wasn't impressed with them at all. I thought they were a really poor team. I'm going to go 3-0.
Yeah, and that's it. So just what we'll do is, before Lee says goodbye, these are my results, if you want to quickly just pause them and have a look, and then we'll just quickly go through Lee's results. If you want to just go through, just slide them up, Lee, so they can see who you've got. Prediction wise, that's it. Yeah, go other way, Lee, other way. There you go. That's it, and that's it. And then we're done, Lee. Want to close the video?
So yeah, thank you for watching, guys. Put your comments in. Like I said, do you agree with our predictions? In fairness, we was pretty good last week. We got pretty decent scores. Bez is top of the whole group for the League Two prediction thing as well. So obviously Bez is slightly ahead of me, but that won't last long. I'm obviously going to win this quite comfortably. But Bez, he has got good football knowledge. I'll give him that. But he's up against the king, and the king doesn't lose. So thank you for watching. At the bottom of this channel, it says, please help us get 2,000 subscriptions. We're way above that now. I think we're nearly hitting the 2.2K now. So another 500 subscriptions in the last 3 days, which is absolutely unbelievable. So thank you to the EFL community. Thank you for everybody that tunes in. Thank you to the haters that keep providing the fuel for me to keep doing these videos. Much appreciated. Thanks for watching. You keep pretending you hate me, but you keep watching me, so it's a bit of sweet in it, really. Please like the video, like I said, comment, let us know what you think your team's going to do this weekend. Is there something we've missed from your team? Do you think we've got it sort of bang on? Last week in the comments, a lot of people were saying, even though we picked the teams to lose, they were saying we're with you, like the great predictions. So not too many sort of hatred in there. There were people actually saying, you know, they feel that we have put the time in to actually predict the results, and we've get a fair balance, which is great. Do appreciate the feedback. But yeah, as always, thanks for watching, and see you next time.
Cheers.